The following is a presentation of TFNN. Live at TFNN, the Money Masters. And now, your Money Masters, Tom O'Brien and Steve Rhodes.
Welcome, folks. This is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We do appreciate you being here. Dow's up 112, Nasdaq's up 5, S&Ps are up 6. You got gold where she's up 19, silver's up 45, oil's down, bonds are down 15, and King Dollar is ruling. They tried to smoke it this morning, and you know what? King Dollar doesn't smoke.
I like the look of this candle right now.
Let me tell you something.
Goodness.
You know what's amazing is that, listening to you this morning, of course, is always great.
Oh, thank you. Thank you.
I'm watching the market, right?
Yeah.
And, Angela Merkel comes out and, says that, okay, things are going to be fine, right? And they try to tank the dollar.
You're right.
And it's amazing. Okay, so when you look at that context, I says, oh, thank you, God. And the reason, folks, is this. The reason is this. See, just if I wasn't even, trading technically, the common sense deal is like absolutely heaven. This is like when gold was coming off the bottoms.
Yeah.
These politicians would come out and say, I want a strong dollar. It was snow at that time, and they were tanking the dollar.
Absolutely,
this is just the opposite. This is the perfect opposite. I saw that happen, I says, oh, really? Oh, the dollar's going to go down, the euro's going to go up, and of course that's what happened. I says, thank you. Boom, 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 boom. Fire.
I love it. You had your jetpack on.
You're going to see a red market today. This is going to be nasty, folks.
I love it.
It's going to be, when you get the last downdraft like this in the dollar.
Yeah.
This is, if I've seen anything in the markets, before large moves.
Yes.
Let's say that something was shooting up, like really shooting up big.
Yeah.
Before the first large move down.
Yeah.
Boom! It goes up like beyond belief.
Okay.
And then wipes everyone out. Then you go.
Yeah.
This is what happened to the dollar.
And really, what it's actually physically doing, it's taking out a lot of the shorts.
Yeah.
Right?
No, absolutely.
So a lot of folks that have been short, they just finally are going to capitulate,
absolutely.
right?
Absolutely. Well, that's what that was all about. What that was all about is buys. Yeah. That was someone going all the way down there trying to buy every one of them. Do you know what I mean? Saying, okay, we're going.
Yeah. And look, this
is going to be a wild one, man. And we, the NDX 100 is leading, man. The NDX 100 is screaming out here, folks, saying, you know what, we're going lower.
Yeah.
It's the only one that's red right now, but you're going to see a lot more red as this time goes on.
Well, and I was showing folks, just simply just the futures contracts yesterday, and showing, it was actually cool. Remember, I think it was, I don't know if it was you and I or David and I, but it's really cool on these Gartley buy patterns here, where they can actually turn into a new ABC up. And that's actually what the NASDAQ futures contract did, which was cool. So, you complete that new ABC up.
Okay.
And we know that the market's going to do something different.
Right.
And you had two bearish engulfing candles, up there as well. One from yesterday, one from several days ago, up at the highs. And you've got the turn dates, you've got the lunar cycles, you've got the index dates. You got it all coming together. Absolutely. And
absolutely. What you have here. Now look at the NDX, folks. I got the NDX futures up, right? They slammed this thing so hard, but you're going to see another slam. This could be a larger ABC down. What you'll need is 10,000 contracts passing the B point. The first slam had 15,000 contracts on it. And I'm talking about the NQs. So it's going to be interesting as it gets into the lows of yesterday. And we'll see if, in fact, that flies out. I suspect it's going to fly out because this is the ultimate again.
Exactly.
So the strongest stock, folks, in the NDX 100 is, guess what?
Yeah. First Solar. Which I noticed on my screen this morning. I was like, okay, well, that's also nice. That's up 13%, this morning. And so, okay, well, that helps, too.
First Solar, folks, is dead. First Solar has no sun. First Solar is living in Alaska now.
I like that.
That's where it's living. It's living in Alaska. It's certainly not living in Colorado or Florida. Colorado, Florida, First Solar would get some love.
No, absolutely. The spies gave us a pretty good signal yesterday, too. And on the spies, folks, what I was really looking at is, you know, the power of these. I don't know why the sacred geometry works so well.
Right.
I just know that it does.
Right.
And really simply, if you can go back either the second, you know, the high from the second down to the low, you know, we got it to the 1.618. We also got to the low of the March 16th area, you know, and tested that. You know, where you had, you know, big volume on the spies. You had volume of 466 million shares. When you came up into that two trading sessions ago, you came into that with 202.
Right.
Half of the volume. That was saying, And then yesterday, you had volume, you know, pick up on the way down. It was the only ETF where you had some volume picking up. You had 263 million shares, you know, off of the top there.
And it's certainly picking up today. If this stays today, you absolutely have volume picking up today. We're already done 50 million, and you're at 35 minutes into the hour.
Yeah, and the real question, like you're pointing out, you know, this absolutely could be setting up a new ABC down, and a big one.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's not. This would not be a small ABC. So it's either, you know, going to go down and test the bottom of that consolidation. It's had some time. It's had some energy. It's pulled people into the marketplace.
Oh, big time.
You know, the German, you know, the Greece, the Italy. Berlusconi? They're talking about him saying no mas, no mas.
Well, you know,
I didn't see the whole story. I just saw a little.
What's amazing is that people absolutely believe the politicians. That's folks. What's terrible, okay, is, you know, it blows my mind that they actually believe the politicians. It's real simple. And whether you read things technically or fundamentally, you know, they don't have any money. And they're not going to get any money, and they're going to take a haircut.
Well, other than just to, you know, create or print more money, but it's still not going to solve the problem.
No, because you can get rid of all the debt. See, you can get rid of all the debt in Greece, and they still can't pay their bills month to month.
Right.
So, you know what's amazing? You know, this morning, this was great this morning on CNBC. On CNBC this morning, they had Senator Bob Corker, right?
Okay.
And there were finally a couple good questions that it was Andrew Rosokin that asked them. Okay, and I really like the questions, because what the question was this, folks, is that they were talking about Occupy Wall Street, and then he says, you know, a lot of these people are saying that they should be occupying Washington, D.C., and the reason being is that nothing is getting done in Washington, D.C., right? Actually, it was Scott Wapner that asked that question, but then Andrew followed it up, and this is how he followed it up, which was amazing. He says, well, he says what everyone seemed to be saying is that the reason that they're saying Occupy Washington, D.C. and Occupy Wall Street is that Wall Street has managed to buy Washington off, right?
Yeah.
And you know what he turns around and says? Oh, that's absolute baloney. They use that. And I'm saying to myself, listen to what he has given the public.
Sure.
That could never happen.
Yeah, right.
Folks, and you know what? That happens in every single society. Yeah. And, you know, we can try to change it, and you change it to a certain point. But my overall, you know, view is that it's going to be very hard to change any of that. You can be in the middle of the jungle. I was saying to Nico this morning when we were walking out, and I says, you know, but the hunter-gatherer deal, you could be in the middle of the jungle, and if you were not in the middle of the jungle, we'd be fighting, we'd be making sure everyone else is not getting in our jungle, man.
Sure, that's it.
So that's the way kind of life goes, but for a guy to come up on the other side and says, oh, no, we don't take any money. I mean, that isn't how it works. It's like, are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
You know?
Hey, look, you know, change is going to happen. Change is always happening.
Oh, it's happening.
You know, and the thing is that what's interesting is, you know, a lot of folks just won't embrace change. Change is a good thing. Oh, I mean, that's growth. Hey, you know, that's what growth is all about.
You're teaching them every single day. Because the bottom line, folks, let me tell you something, folks. The neat thing about, you know, what Steve does, what we do here is this, okay? You know, we're not saying it's easy, but we are saying flat out that probability-wise, it's real. You can do it, and let me tell you something. You can have a blast at it. It's not, and what it is that when you really put them together, you have a different life. Period. I mean, you know,
you do. That's why I was so glad that you made the decision to go ahead and put on everybody's member page, you know, the webcast from last Wednesday.
Right.
You know, because what that can do is that can actually help people to make it easier. You know, because it's that fear of what it is that what it is that they can do with their money, how they can manage their money.
Absolutely.
You know,
absolutely.
And so I know we really want people to go there and watch it. Janice had called in earlier, and said she had watched it and it was great.
Okay, cool.
And there's so many people, so much. I haven't had any negative feedback on it, and it's because it really is empowering. This is just when you take a look at march on wherever they want to march.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
It really is about just simply empowering themselves.
Yeah.
You want to blow off some steam.
Totally.
That's cool, but then go back and do something with your life. Don't. That's how we all get back to work, is just simply take some action, take some massive action, and and one of the ways, folks, is absolutely learning to manage your own money.
Right.
Teaching your kids, because one of the best things that could, in my opinion, is where you do have, individual retirement accounts.
Right.
Where my kids aren't paying into Social Security, that they're paying into their own fund. And because of that responsibility, you're actually teaching them how to do something with it, because it totally will change their life. And when you can do that at a young age.
And what we have here is this, and you got to understand this. The way the power works is that they want every generation to know less.
Yeah.
Flat out.
Yeah.
Okay?
Yeah.
That's what controls are about, okay? And you want to break that cycle, folks, okay? Break it. Break it down. And, in fact, remember yesterday I was talking about the SEC and Alfred Barkley and all that.
Yeah.
Think about this for a second, right? Did you see that news anyway yesterday, folks? It's absolutely.
I don't think I did see it.
No, I'm glad the Journal had it. Okay.
Yeah.
But that news was absolutely not across the wire.
That's right.
He was the president of the NASDAQ.
That's right.
Okay, and he's front running.
Yeah.
So just let me go through what front running is again. Front running, flat out, folks, is fraudulent. It's just like insider trading. What it means is that you know what the order is.
Yeah.
You have people front running before it.
Yeah.
Bottom line.
Yeah.
And this morning you got the guy from Goldman Sachs.
Yeah.
And what's going to get interesting there, we'll see who else he's going to flip.
Sure.
Because a guy like that is perfect. For the FBI.
Yeah.
Because a guy like that is going to be basically saying, "Hey, I'm not going to jail, man. I gotta.
I don't want to hang out with Bernie, huh?
Oh, I got to take as many people down as I can take down, man. You're going to see some real action here.
Yeah.
I think we'll see in those executive suites. What has to happen. Now, you know what the cool thing is? No, seriously.
Yeah,
no. And in order for everyone else to basically get the clean deal, that's what it has to be cleaned up.
No, for sure.
That executive suite absolutely has to be cleaned up.
Yeah. It does. I love it, baby.
Okay, let's go take a look at this, baby. So, inside the NDX, what do we got? So, you got to keep your eye on the NDX today, folks. There's no two ways about it. The NDX...
Oh, look at that dollar candle. Oh,
so, you got... Yeah, it's a beauty, man. It's a beauty. You got First Solar, F5 Networks, Express Scripts, and Biogen is putting juice into it. Amazon, Robinson, Green Mountain, and Research in Motion is taken out. Let's go to Green Mountain for a second, because Green Mountain, I believe, is coming out with their numbers today. Green Mountain's going to be an ABC down. Oh, this is going to be a trip. So, Green Mountain's down 387 right now. Let's see what she's got. Oh, it's going to get interesting, man. She's going after a low again. You stay right there, folks. This is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We have the Dow up 89, NASDAQ down 3, S&P's up 3, we got gold up 18, silver up 39, bonds down 12. King Dollar is on the move, baby.
I love that candle.
Up 20. We'll be right back.
X-Story Gold Mines, an NYSE Amex-listed company trading under the symbol XG, is slated to be the newest gold-silver producer in Argentina. X-Story is forecast to produce more than $250 million in bullion annually, beginning in 2013, at a cash cost of less than $200 for each ounce of gold produced. That forecast will make X-Story one of the highest margin operators in South America and a sector leader in the mining industry. X-Story has $50 million in its treasury, having spent over $60 million to date on drilling and engineering. The ultimate size of its Argentina discovery could be determined by year-end, as results from the 6 drills operating at the site are fully assessed. To find out more about X-Story Gold Mines and their exciting growth potential, click on their banner on the front page of TFNN.com or check them out on the NYSE Amex under the symbol XG.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments and Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Is the fast-moving investment world challenging the way you think about managing risk and return? You don't have to go it alone. Directions Alternative Strategy Funds feature built-in tactical management to help you find clarity for the path ahead. Direction Funds. I'm with X. To learn more about Directions Alternative Strategy Funds, please visit TFNN.com and click on the Direction Funds banner or call 877-434-9363. An investor should consider the investment objectives, risks, charges, and expenses of the Direction Funds carefully before investing. The prospectus contains this and other information about Direction Funds. The prospectus should be read carefully before investing. To obtain a prospectus, go to DirectionFunds.com. Investing in index funds may be more volatile than investing in broadly diversified funds. The use of leverage by a mutual fund increases the risk to the fund. The more a fund invests in leverage instruments, the more leverage will magnify gains or losses on those investments. Distributed by Rafferty Capital Markets, LLC.
Looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. Now is the time for Tiger Dollars. Purchase $250 or more before October 31st and receive a 30% match. Go to the front page of TFNN.com and get your Tiger Dollars today.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We have the Dow up 83, NASDAQ down 5, S&P's up 2.5. And you get strap in, folks, because this is going to be a heavy day, man. Ladies and gentlemen, tigers and tigresses, because this dollar does not want to stop. And, you just heard the Tiger Dollar deal, folks. You have 3 days left if you want to take advantage of making 30% on your money. All the details on the front page of TFNN.
Yeah.
Let's go to Bob in Colorado. Hey, Bob, what's going on?
Not much, Tom and Steve. I just wanted to call in and compliment you and everybody at TFNN for the job you're doing to help me and everybody else get educated in the system.
Well, we appreciate you being out there growling and prowling with us,
Absolutely,
man.
We I think when Tom and I wake up every morning, we say, how can we help more?
Yeah, well,
it's like everybody has a primary question. And absolutely, one of my questions is, what more can I do to help?
Right.
And that's what's so cool about our environment here. Everybody has got that same, when we walk through those doors, it's what else can we do to help today?
And what's interesting, folks, is this. I know from doing this long enough. I remember when I was first trying to figure it out, right, I had the pizza place. I'm 20 years old,
yeah,
right?
That's cool.
And this is check this out, Bob. This is pretty funny, actually. And in the morning, so what ended up happening is that I'd open at 6:30 in the morning because we served breakfast, right? And I was open 6:30 in the morning to 11 at night.
Okay.
So the first rush was like 6:30 to about 9 o'clock, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Then I'd sit outside as they were cleaning up after breakfast, right? Because I didn't have to get ready for lunch.
Yeah.
And I'd be outside, and I'd have my little red and white shirt on, right, with you know, the wrap around, and I'd be sitting there reading the Wall Street Journal every day, right?
Yes, that's pretty cool.
And I had this is funny. I forgot about this actually. And I says, this is interesting how this goes. And this banker, right, always walked by me, right?
Yeah.
And then, you know, he said to me a couple of days, he says, you know, you're out here every single day reading. I says, yeah. He says, well, you know, I look right at him. I says, well, you guys got it really made, man. I've kind of figured out what you guys do. And I said, that's a pretty good business.
I like it.
Isn't it funny, though? I mean, it was a good conversation. It wasn't a bad conversation with him, right? But it was intriguing. And then I said to him, now watch what I said to him. This freaked him out. Yeah. And I says, you know what I realized, though? I says, this was a community bank, okay? Meaning it was a cooperative bank in Massachusetts.
Yes.
And I says, you know, the way you're structured over there, right? I says, if we had enough passbooks, I says, I could get myself elected, couldn't I? And he looked at me, right? And he says, yeah, it is a passbook deal. I says, that's an intriguing business operation.
That's right. That's pretty wild.
So it is funny. I mean, so my point is this, though, is that what you want to do in this business is that piece by piece by piece, you learn piece by piece by piece. Yeah. And, yes, and that's what we try to bring out to you folks. Do you know what I mean? You can't grab it all at once. What you can do, though, is piece by piece by piece is pretty cool, you know?
Yeah, you can, and there's so much to be able to put together here. I mean, you've got, such incredible talent. And everybody teaching just a little bit different.
Right, that's right, exactly.
And what's really great, I think, about all the contributors here is, is just not just the mutual respect, but still our thinking is just simply independent.
Right.
No matter what. You can easily have both two people on two sides of the trade.
Oh, absolutely.
Which is exactly what the market is all about.
You want people to think. That's the name. If I've learned anything in life, if we all can think, folks, we're all right.
Yeah. So it's a really of course we love it when everybody's on one side of the trade, but then it's
because then we go on the other side.
That's right, exactly. Because we know we're all on one side of the boat. Uh-oh, look out.
But guys, what I also want to say is I became involved or started looking at the Gartley and how all that works. I, of course, have your book, Tom, and then I bought Larry's book, Trade What You See.
Right.
And I was reading a couple pages this morning. I thought, my gosh, and I can look at a chart now and pick out what starts to look like a Gartley program and go from there with a retracement.
That's cool.
And it's really made me a little more easy with the market. And as you say, Steve, is you can go away and do something else and know what you're doing is going to work.
Yeah. Absolutely. That which is that you don't have to be sitting in front of your screen. You take the trade, you have your stops in place, you've got your exits in place, and go have a great day. You're in Colorado. Go on out and breathe the air out there. I mean, it's such a beautiful environment.
It's snowing this morning, guys.
What's that?
It's snowing this morning.
Oh, yeah, that's right. I heard that.
That's amazing. And what you're just saying, Bob, I tell you, when I was writing the second book, I knew after Larry had taught me these Gottliebs and I did the Tiger Gottley, I said, this is the best setup, even particularly because I know you can be brand new, not that you are, in the market.
Yes.
And once you understand those setup, you're off to the races, man.
No, absolutely.
And the pattern just jumps out at you anymore.
Right, and it's not subjective. That's what I really like about it. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly. It's cool.
Exactly.
Cooking, brother. Thanks for the feedback.
Guys.
Have a great one. Have a safe one. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We're coming right back, folks.
Folks, this is Tom O'Brien. If you want to get great trade setups in equity as well as the option market, come over to TFNN.com and test drive my daily newsletter, Market Insights, for 2 weeks absolutely free. Each trade setup comes with a profit projection as well as stop placement. Included in Market Insights is a Twitter alert service. This allows you to take advantage of intraday setups. Volatility is back in the markets. What does that mean to you? To me, it spells short-term opportunity each and every day. The days of trending up on lighter volume are gone. We have come off the highs with volume across the globe. Don't get caught in a complacency trap. Many of the indices have given back 2 months of trading in 1 week. We have a trader's market. You can take advantage of this traders market by test driving my daily newsletter, Market Insights, free for 2 weeks. Market Insights will give you the edge you're looking for in the markets. Go to TFNN.com under newsletter. Hit the Market Insight tab for your 2-week free test drive right here, right now.
Tom O'Brien's weekly newsletter, The Gold Report, gives traders, investors, and money managers a thorough strategy for trading the gold market. If you're an investor in gold or any of the gold mining equities, this newsletter is an essential tool that can help you become a better trader in the gold market. The Gold Report comes out every Monday with complete coverage of the entire gold market, including the XAU, HUI, the dollar, the bond, the rand, more than 40 different mining equities, as well as some of the most popular precious metal ETFs, including the GDX and the SLV. For as low as $75 per month, you can gain access to Tom O'Brien's Gold Report that will help you take advantage of investment opportunities at the current historic gold price levels. To order your Gold Report today with a free 30-day trial subscription, log on to TFNN.com or call our office directly at 877-518-9190.
What type of investor are you? Conservative, moderate, or aggressive? No matter your investor personality, your overall portfolio should reflect your financial goals, time horizon, and your risk tolerance. Help ensure your portfolio is appropriately invested with an asset allocation plan from Morgan Stanley Smith Barney. Simply picking the right stocks is not enough. Research has shown that choosing the right proportion of stocks, bonds, and cash is essential to the success of your long-term investments. Morgan Stanley Smith Barney believes a carefully selected portfolio can lower your volatility and increase investment return potential. Find out about what asset allocation and a Morgan Stanley Smith Barney financial advisor can do for you. Call Angelo O'Brien, financial advisor and certified financial planner of the Clearwater, Florida branch at 727-441-6108 today to discuss your personal financial needs. Asset allocation does not assure a profit or protect against loss in declining financial markets. Investments and services are offered through Morgan Stanley Smith Barney, LLC. Member SIPC.
Hi, I'm Steve Rhodes, co-host of The Money Masters with Tom O'Brien, seen daily at TFNN.com, author of Mastering Probabilities, a daily investment and trading newsletter, and teacher of The Money Game. Studies show that 3 out of 5 people are afraid for their life in trading these markets, and the number one reason given is fear of loss. Look, fear stands for false evidence appearing real, and the money game proves it. Lesson number 1, don't risk more than 1% of your trading capital on any trade. Why, you ask? Because 35 trades in a row where you risk 50 cents and make $1 are all you need to double your trading capital, versus the 230 losing trades in a row you would need to bring your balance to $100. Let me teach you more about the money game, risk-free for 30 days. Go to the homepage of TFNN.com and click on my name, Steve Rhodes, for your 30-day risk-free trial. You were born to be a money master, and I'll teach you how.
This segment is brought to you by Great Panther Silver. For more information, just click the Great Panther Silver banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. We get the Dow up 75, Nasdaq's down 6. S&Ps are up 2, and the King Dollar, folks, is really moving. And, you know, the amazing part, which I was just saying, you know, Steve, well, we both, well, see, no one believes that the dollar wants to go topside.
Yeah.
And it's so cool because, you know, they really don't understand what the United States is about. They don't. I mean, you know, there's plenty of people, unfortunately, in the United States. And what my take on it, folks, is that we all get up in the morning, we're all mongrels. We're a nation of mongrels.
Yeah.
A nation of mongrels, I mean, to me is that, you know, you come from everywhere.
That's right.
And you want to get things done, and no matter what gets done, you want more done. Because it's fun.
Yeah. And you want more out of life. Doesn't mean, you know, whatever that might mean to you.
Yeah,
you
right.
know,
right.
You want more out of life. Look, we want to be able to help people more.
Yeah, and it's not. I'm not talking money. I'm just talking creativity. Right. I'm just talking about building things. I like.
Well, I mean, when you just take a look at just the technology, just the stuff that we've got in front of us today. Versus, you know, what's interesting is I had an email yesterday or the night before from somebody who'd watched one of the webinars, and he was asking, you know, how I came up with the power of one.
Yes.
And which was great was I had to go all the way back, and it really started back in 1979 when I was taking a statistics class.
Okay.
And it was also at the time I was working in the tax department CPA firm.
Yes.
And we also had just gotten in our first Apple II.
Okay.
And I remember the partner, because I was working with the partner there, and he was all about, hey, we got to buy Apple stock. And I had originally done, this was also when IRAs had been out for about 4 or 5 years.
Okay.
But, what we were having to do was convince our clients that it made sense to put $1,500 away,
yes,
which was the maximum at that time,
right,
each year, and what that could grow into.
Right.
And so they wanted to understand, what could that grow into after 20 years, 25 years, 30 years. And now back then interest rates were like about 15%.
Yeah,
okay?
Exactly.
So, but what they wanted to also do is say, how can you even improve on that? How can you invest in the market? Because this partner here was big on buying stocks.
Okay.
And so, was how can you do this and how can you maximize your gain but minimize your risk?
Okay.
Now, the original calculations, I wish I had it, was on we used to have this big spreadsheet paper.
Right.
Remember those?
I remember that. Yeah.
The green paper. I can still visualize the green paper. Doing every calculation
opens like this.
Yeah.
No, absolutely.
By hand.
Yeah.
Now, folks, we got that Apple II in the office.
Okay.
And we had the software VisiCalc.
Yes.
And so that's where I first started learning spreadsheets. And then from there, I went out and spent $10,000.
Okay.
On which was basically all the money I had.
Yes.
Not everything, but and bought a computer. Bought my first my first PC.
Wow.
If you will. Remember, that was a PC with one floppy drive. And an Epson printer,
DOS,
so that I could print.
MS-DOS,
yeah,
right.
and VisiCalc,
Wow.
And so that's it was actually kind of cool to go back and remember.
Oh yeah.
And what was really great about that exercise was that truly by putting $1,500 away, in this case here, whether it was 15 or 25% that you made,
right.
In I think it was like 20 or 25 years, it made you a millionaire.
I know, it's big, man.
But what was really interesting was from that point, from like 20 years to 30 or 20 to 25,
right? You
went from $1 million to like 15 million or 13 million.
I know.
The compounding, that was there. And yet people still couldn't. That's where I also started really understanding visualization. Because when you just told people if you put $1,500 away, this is what it would turn into.
Right.
They really couldn't truly, because what they could do is they could multiply 1,500 times 20 years and say it's only 37,500. To tell somebody you can turn that into $1 million, but if you put it on paper, when it was on paper, they were all of a sudden saying,
"That's right."
Okay.
I know. No,
which is why I think it would be the best thing for each of us, for our kids, our grandkids, for them to actually be able to putting money away, into their own accounts. Truly getting into that, because you talk about empowerment,
huge,
and a big money issue.
You stay right there, folks.
Sorry to digress.
No, it was. Are you kidding me? That was perfect. Now, let's talk about it, because today is the P Index Day, right?
That's right.
So we come back, we'll talk about that. Don't forget, folks, David has a workshop tonight, free workshop, 6:30 to 7:30. We're going to be right back.
TFNN is proud to bring you the cutting edge of newsletters. Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks. Ken is a top-down investor who lets price and volume in the major stock indices tell him when to be in the market and when to be out. By using his unique blend of fundamental and technical analysis, Ken will protect your hard-earned capital while realizing breakout gains. Go to TFNN.com today. Click Investments Newsletters and get Ken Shreve's Ultimate Growth Stocks free for 2 weeks.
Put the power of the Chapman Wave methodology to work for you. No matter what market you trade, what time frame you trade in, or your trading style, the Opening Call, Basil Chapman's daily market newsletter, is bursting with the information and trades you need to become a more successful trader.
I've been using Basil Chapman's Chapman Wave methodology for several years now. His Chapman Wave can be used for any time period for not only equities, but futures, currencies, commodities. I've been also a subscriber of his Opening Call, which I find an invaluable tool to help me analyze the potential of the market each day. He gives you opportunities to go short and long. It includes recommendations on stocks. I strongly recommend people using the Chapman Wave, and I very, very strongly support the use of his Opening Call.
To find out more about Basil Chapman and his Chapman Wave methodology, and to get your 2-week free trial of the Opening Call, a $64 value, visit TFNN.com today.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we pay you more for converting your jewelry to cash.
Let's go to Brian in New Jersey. Hey, Brian, what's going on?
Hey, Tom, just want to let you know I did give you some jewelry. My jeweler offered me about $650. But you get a check in the mail tomorrow for about $1,200.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, it's all about honesty when converting your jewelry to cash.
Okay, let's go to Paul in Florida first. Hey, Paul, what's going on?
I want to commend you on the Tiger Metal Exchange. I just did a deal with you guys the other day.
Oh, good.
And I'm very happy.
Well, I appreciate it. Now, did you sell us jewelry or did you buy coins off us?
I sold you jewelry.
Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
What we weighted at was less than you guys said, so, you're totally honest.
At Tiger Metal Exchange, we give you the tools to value your gold, and it's absolutely free. Call 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. We've created the easiest, safest, and most honest cash for gold process. Tiger Metal Exchange. It's the only call you need to make.
Here's what people are saying about Tiger TV.
Let's go to John in Tampa. Hey, John, what's going on?
Hi, Tom. How are you, sir?
I'm doing great. You having a good day out there?
A wonderful day. I love your Tiger TV. I watch it every day. I'm like a kid in a candy store.
Oh, man, I appreciate you out there watching it. How long have you been watching the Tiger TV?
I'm watching almost a month now, and it's wonderful.
It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Oh, yes, it's cool. You see the charts and everything. Thanks so much for the hard work.
Tiger TV, a great news service from TFNN.com. This segment is brought to you by Crocodile Gold. For more information, just click the Crocodile Gold banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. And, folks, don't forget, if you have any subscriptions right now at TFNN, well, the bottom line is that you can make 30% on your money for the next 3 days. You can come over, get some Tiger dollars. That pays for subscriptions going forward. Bottom line, there's no expiration date. If you're thinking of getting any subscriptions or any services, check out the Tiger Dollar deal, folks, because you make 30%. That does expire in the next 3 days.
It's a great deal. Great deal.
Yeah, and, bottom line is that, there's a lot of great services out there.
We still got the book deal going, right?
Yeah,
right
well,
now,
the bonds,
so
listen, and folks, I want to thank each and every one of you out there. The book deal has gone beyond belief.
Yeah.
And what has happened is that there were certain Barnes & Nobles that didn't have it. Many of them have it right now.
And we just shipped out 500 yesterday or something.
Did.
I mean, you talk about this thing gaining momentum.
It is.
Cool thing.
And, if you're, bottom line, if you're giving, you're looking for gifts for the holidays, go out there, you get to the end of the month, get the book, and you're going to get $300 in subscription webinars for free.
Well, just look at, Bob, our caller from Colorado that called in, and he's got your book, Larry's book, and now, he feels pretty empowered about the market and being able to actually visually see, these Gartley patterns set up and the ability to, go ahead and put the trade on and not sit in front of the screen and worry about it. Go do something else productive. You got your money working for you. Now go work on something else in your life.
Absolutely.
Which is so cool.
Because what does happen with the Gartley, no doubt, it's not subjective. You're looking at the numbers, and that's what I just love about it. I absolutely do. I mean, it's just beautiful. What Larry figured out there. Hey, listen, this is sick.
Yeah.
Listen to this. This is so crazy, it's unbelievable. Okay, so we got the Tiger Gartley and the Gartley, and we're out of time in the trade.
Right.
Well, folks, listen to this. This is really, you talk about how life goes, right? Well, Larry named the Gartley 222.
Right.
Well, listen to this, folks. In my new book, the Gartley happens to be on page 222. Now, this gets sicker, though. I didn't know it.
Yeah, I know, which is so
I was
cool.
up in Chicago talking with this monster currency trader that Larry knows, by the way.
Yeah.
Now, check this out.
Okay, that's good.
I'm always trying to get into these big shops, okay? And the bottom line, folks, is you get into some of them, some of the others you don't. Well, anyway, I was in this monster shop.
Yeah.
And I know I got in. He knew me, but he knew me through Larry.
Yes.
That's the bottom line.
Yes.
And I come in. Well, I'm at the airport, and he texts me. He says, "Hey, Tom." He says, "Do you know that it's on 222?"
I know.
So I walk in the shop, right, and the guy's got him at the trading desk, and they're looking at it, and I'm saying to myself, "This is sick." So what a great way to start the conversation.
Yeah. No, it is great.
So the P-index day.
Yeah.
This is I was dreaming about this last night. There's only been 17 of these, and
there's 35 over a 300-year period. Okay. So I don't remember if this is, if this was 17, 18, whichever one. I just know that, I went back and I have digital I've taken the ephemeris and I've got everything digitized. So I can go back and tell you exactly how many P-index dates. Now, 17, this is based on the original work that Larry and Dr. Ruth Miller did.
Yes,
if you were to actually pull open a New American Ephemeris, you'd see 20. And so 20 actual. And so what we do know is because it's such an outlier event, if you will. It's,
right.
You know, when you talk about 35 of these days where you've got things lined up in the universe out of 119,000 or what have you, it's 0.03% of the.
You gotta love it.
But you know, here's the thing. Look, I don't know much about the universe, okay? You know, I couldn't go on Jeopardy and answer questions about, space and planets and, but see, because
depends what day it is for me. What time of the day?
Yeah, that's right. For me, it's really just all about probability.
Right.
It always has been.
That's
like
right.
even the original story of taking the Apple II and just simply understanding that by being able to invest $1,500 a year and being able to manage your money, that you could truly amass that into a fortune, okay? So to me, it's just about probability. That's why I went out and invested the money to be able to digitize everything so that I could take a chart, I could take whatever it is I wanted to look at, and in almost an instant, lay it over on every chart to go back and say, because, look, what I trust is myself.
Right.
I have total trust in myself, and I want to go back and take a look and see what the impacts are.
Right.
And so, like I was talking about this morning, and just like, you couldn't have written a better script that the Gartley pattern, the Tiger Gartley, would show up on page 222. How do you write that script? Well, the universe somehow, has some,
Exactly.
How could you write that script?
Oh, let me tell you something. That turned me on more than anything, folks. And, one of the questions that in the den is it because it was on? No, I didn't realize it when I did it.
Yeah.
What blows my mind is that the book has been out since May and no one realized it until a week and a half
That's
ago.
Right. No, that's right.
Well, maybe they realized it and didn't say anything, but
Yeah. So it's kind of like when you talk about writing scripts. So we've been talking about this day, this October day, for months and months and months. And so, because in my case here, I can go pick out exactly what P-index dates we've got coming on for the next year.
Amazing.
Or whatever the time periods, and whether they've had any real type of impact in the markets and how long they may have lasted. Well, this one's a very important one. So then, when all of a sudden you've got price coming in at these retracement levels, at these sacred geometry numbers, okay, and you've got time working, you're just kind of like, and even if it doesn't work, just the mere fact that it worked for the day or what have you, which look, folks, it's going to work much longer than the day, okay? But just the mere fact of you could not have written the script. You wanted price to be moving up.
Yes.
If you're going to, right? Like I said,
remember what you
folks,
said?
if you want to sell the market, you want to sell when price is moving up into you.
The dangerous thing
Not
here,
chasing
folks,
it when it's going down.
even more dangerous, of course, we're bearish, but even more dangerous is that price moved up into this date.
That's right.
Because then it can be a much longer-term high. That's right. We've been in a consolidation, so we'll see how we land down the other side of it.
Yeah.
Now, when we talk about time,
yes,
what is amazing right now is this, that it's only 10:48 a.m.
Yes.
And the reason I'm saying that, folks, is this. Time is going very slow right now. To me, it is, anyway.
Okay.
Now, that is really dangerous in the marketplace, folks. And this is why. Because we've already sold off.
Yes.
It's 10:48. Let me tell you something. At 10:48, with time going slow, looking at tickers, right?
Yes.
This market is in big trouble.
Yeah.
You're talking. We're talking 5.5 hours.
Right.
Okay. 5 hours of selling.
I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Oh, let me tell you something, man. The Nasdaq just took out the B point, and it had NQZ1. It had some juice taking it out. You stay right there, folks. This is Steve Rhodes. There she is.
Yeah.
Wide price spread. There's
wow.
Larry. Wide price spread. Accelerated volume. See you. Don't want to be you. This is Steve Rhodes, Tom O'Brien. As soon as we come back, folks, it'll be all red. Right now, the Dow's up 25, Nasdaq's down 23, S&Ps are off 3, and gold's giving it up 2. You're going to see that baby turn 2. We're going to be right back.
As Tom says, go long America. Now you can join TFNN and Barnes & Noble to keep money in your community. Purchase Tom's best-selling book, The Art of Timing the Trade, Your Ultimate Trading Mastery System, before October 31st from your local Barnes & Noble store. And you will be given access to not just 1, but 2 exceptional archived courses. Tiger Scaling, the Tiger Butterfly, and Gartley. The Art of Timing the Trade is more than just a book. It's an educational journey that will help you understand the Wall Street greed cycle and learn how to recognize profit from genuine price moves. So, for the cost of just under $30, you will receive in excess of $300 in trading education from Tom O'Brien, TFNN, and Barnes & Noble. And you will be helping to support an important local business, your local bookstore. If you do not have a Barnes & Noble in your community, then go to your local bookstore. We'll be sure to work with them to keep your purchase local. So let's support our local businesses. Keep money in your community and get a great education. But be sure to act now, because you only have until October 31st to take advantage of this opportunity. Go to the front page of TFNN.com for details.
Are you looking for some extra cash to help pay off some of your bills? Let Tiger Metal Exchange convert your unwanted jewelry to cash. We pay out 80% of the market price for gold. Our payouts are the highest in the industry, more than double our largest competitors. And we've created the safest, easiest, and most straightforward process for converting your jewelry to cash. Log on to TigerMetalExchange.com and get your free scale, your free eye loop, and get the cash you deserve now. We provide a free online calculator that converts your jewelry to cash at up-to-the-minute spot prices. We insure your items for up to $75,000 per shipment free of charge. We videotape the entire valuation process so that you can view it online. You can call us toll-free at 866-618-8888 or log on to TigerMetalExchange.com. Let Tiger Metal Exchange put more cash in your pocket without ever leaving the comfort of your home. Join the list of thousands of satisfied customers and go to TigerMetalExchange.com. It's the only click you need to make.
Would you like to discover the next great tech stock? David White, TFNN's technology guru, has just launched his new newsletter, The Technology Insider. In his newsletter, David will be looking for those shining stars that may turn into the next Apple, Microsoft, or Cisco. David combines his technology background as a software programmer with his market skills as a successful professional trader to give you this unique newsletter. We're on the verge of the next great tech run. With the Technology Insider, you'll be in front of the run-up and not lagging behind. David is developing a long-term investment portfolio, therefore we're only offering the Technology Insider as an annual subscription with a remarkable price of only $395. That's right, for a little over $1 a day, you'll receive the fundamental technology wisdom and technical trading skills of the Technology Insider David White. What are you waiting for? Go to the front of TFNN.com, click on the link on the front page, sign up for your 2-week free trial, and become a Technology Insider today. Great Basin Gold is a mining company engaged in the exploration and development of 2 emerging gold properties in Nevada and South Africa with a total resource base of more than 23 million gold ounces. Great Basin's Burnstone mine in South Africa opened in February of this year with a resource of 20 million gold ounces, becoming the first mine to open in the historic Witwatersrand Basin in the last 30 years. The Burnstone mine is projected to have a 25-year mine life and is fully financed with production anticipated to be over 250,000 ounces per year at a cash cost of only $450 per ounce. The Hollister mine in Nevada became fully integrated in the 4th quarter of 2010 with annual production estimates of 110,000 ounces of gold per year over the 8-year mine life at a cash cost of only $527 per ounce. Great Basin Gold is cash flow positive and trades on the Toronto and New York stock exchanges under the symbol GBG.
This segment is brought to you by Goldfields. For more information, just click the Goldfields banner on the front page of TFNN.com.
Welcome back, folks. We get the Dow right now. Let's see. She's up 11. NASDAQ is down 29. Now, let's go to MF Global.
What is going on
There's
there?
a dislocation here, folks, in the finance business, and this is going to be it. This is a big deal, folks, and let me tell you something. Who's ever on the side of this party is going to be big, big money. This is MF Global right now is down 68, trading at $1.19. This is the largest hedge fund in the world. There's problems out here that we don't.
How can this be?
There's problems that we don't know about right now.
Yeah.
And that's saying it, and someone does know about it. They absolutely know about it. If we go over to the bonds, now this is
amazing.
Yeah. Oh, it isn't. Yeah. MF Global. No, it is. MF Global's done. If we go over to the bonds for a second, what you have with bonds is bonds want to go to 144. You know, bottom line, you know, if we get volume at 144, they want to go to 160.
Which is
160, folks. That's a one. I believe Mark in the den was telling. I think he was calculating. He is a banker. He's a community banker, by the way.
We like okay. That's like that.
We like good bankers.
That's like that.
Anyway,
so you're saying he calculated it to be
1.5.
Yeah,
that'll be 1.5.
So we're talking about 1980 or 79. I'm doing my spreadsheet with VisiCalc using a 15% interest rate.
Right,
and that was just a conservative interest rate,
right,
if you will,
to 1.5.
Yeah, to 1.5.
Is that sick?
How's that flopping?
Yeah, that's sick. Let's go back to MF Global for a second. This, folks, this is a big heads up. And let me tell you something. You know, Steve talks about stops a lot. If you're long this market, do not walk away without putting stops in, okay?
Yeah.
Because this is saying to me flat out, we're going to have banks blow up. I mean, and I'm talking about later today. This is, see, what you have here is this. Something's wrong, and they're going to owe someone money.
Yeah.
And they're probably trying to get the money, and they're not going to be able to get their money because now this is 71. Hold it. So it's down another 50%, right?
Yeah.
40%.
Yeah. It was. Well, look.
It was so it's down 75% in 3 days.
Yeah, that's right. It was up at 335.
Right.
Yesterday.
Right.
Started the day off.
Right.
You know, around 330 area.
Right. And
you know, it's 114 right now.
Yeah. And one of the problems, unfortunately, for Corzine is that, you know, Corzine used to be the CEO of Goldman Sachs.
Yes.
Bottom line, he went to be a politician. He forgot what finance was about, and that's a problem, evidently. You know, he stepped in, and more than likely, he stepped into rat's nest.
Yeah.
And it must be a big rat's nest.
Clearly.
You know?
Clearly.
You know what is interesting?
So no news or anything out on this?
No. And this is what it is.
That's so wild.
They know he was claiming that they had. Let's see. I think it was owning up to $650 billion in exposure, 6.5 billion in exposure to European
bonds or something, or
to their sovereign debt.
Okay.
So. Let me just see something. They may not have 6.85 billion.
Okay.
Let me just do this quick. Okay, so yeah, they don't have that. They only take in they've taken 500 million a quarter. So I doubt they're going to have that. No, they don't have it. There it is, right there. One second. Cash. No, they don't. Cash is March 31st, right?
Yep.
Is
600 million? Is that what that is? 649 million?
Yeah. So if they got a 6.5 billion, if they have exposure of 6.5 billion,
that's right.
and you get 600 million, you're done. You're done. It's over. Now the sad part about that's going to be pretty intense. But the sad part about MF Global is how many employees are in MF Global. I've been there many times. Jeff Fox used to run it. I know him well because you know Ed Young.
Yes.
And Jeff's gone too. And Jeff's a great trader too. So it was probably problematic of getting, well, you know, things move on, but big problem.
It's an important story, though.
It's all for the market?
It's a real important story, you know, which is so great that you're able to bring that out to listeners.
Oh, yeah.
You know, because that's a real important story out there.
It's a big one, and it's happening. You stay right there, folks. We went up to Newton, Mass. We got our man, Mr. Basil Chapman, coming up here. Then we're going to Tucson, Arizona. Larry back here with David 3 to 4 and myself 4 to 6. Have a great one. Have a safe one, folks.
See you in the morning, folks.
Yep.